Hi guys, Jackie here. I know, I'm your favorite pink-haired internet cat. Girl boy thing. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Ukraine, and Palestine, Ohio. Because, well, while it is political and not gaming culture, it is culturally political and will be affecting my life, believe it or not. So, anyways, in a war zone, Joe Biden has went. Joe Biden went to Ukraine. Joe Biden's surprise visit to Ukraine was the first time in modern U.S. history a leader visited. Yeah, and you see all these shouting points about how he went to a war zone, how it was this major deal, how great all of this is, right? It was planned ahead because, well, Joe Biden's not exactly a fighting age. Neither am I, but there is a bit of a controversy here. You see, Joe Biden may have went to a war zone, but even CNN ousted him.
I've been here for the past 5 days. I have not heard any explosions. I have not heard any air sirens until about half an hour ago, right when President Biden was in the center of Kyiv, as Clarissa was just mentioning. I've been here for the past.
By the way, I think we're up to something like $1 billion in aid to Ukraine just for this one visit or something. I haven't done all the math. I do know the number keeps growing, and it has been outrageous. So, beyond that, it's one of those things, like, the reporter there stated he hasn't heard air raid sirens or explosions, and it does start to give off the vibe that the whole presidency is staged. It really does. The video in question, if I can find it, because I'm terrible at doing what I do. I know that video was here somewhere. Oh, there's a gunshot. But you see, they're just walking nonchalantly while an air raid siren blasts once. That was all for the photo op. That was all for this. I want to look like I'm in a war zone when I'm kinda not. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Ukrainian war, by no means. But I also believe in taking care of things at home first, as do many Americans. And this is where Biden's been failing, is he's more worried about things going on overseas than he is with US interest. To be fair, we're not very interested in Ukraine. Most Americans can't even tell you where Ukraine is on a map. But they do know that American people are suffering at record rates for no good reason. And there's other things that I could go into, like, no, Joe Biden had record gas sales. Well, most Americans are paying $4 at the pump. Jeez, I wonder why. Anyways, we're going into the East Palestine part of the equation. Big Macs, guys. Yep, that's right. That's right, guys. Big Macs. Because apparently the train derailment disaster has been completely blamed on Donald Trump and his deregulation of things. Except, well, and we've all seen the videos of how bad U.S. infrastructure actually is. And the current administration would rather spend more money in Ukraine than actually fixing our infrastructure. Also, the exact problem, the exact regulations that were removed that caused the problem didn't exactly happen under Trump. Any investigative journalist would know this. Again, not a huge fan of Trump, but I can tell you why some people are a huge fan of Trump. You see, Donald Trump went to East Palestine. Donald Trump went to East Palestine and then on his own time bought a bunch of McDonald's and started handing out to first responders and people of East Palestine, the people who feel forgotten by the US government, the people that are currently suffering because of a chemical spill. Now, I absolutely hate McDonald's. Tears up my stomach. Of course, I have to be very picky about what I eat. I can't even eat local fast food because even local fast food tears up my stomach these days. God, I hate being me. But when it comes down to it, I can see why. I can understand why. Hmm. I also wanted to pull this up and I couldn't find it earlier, so I'm sorry. For anyone saying Biden should have been in Ohio yesterday, I would just like to point out that Biden offered to help East Palestine 2 weeks ago, and either way he could, or in every way he could. And the goddamn no, no, that's not actually what happened. And again, I've talked about East Palestine ad nauseum. But anyways, Donald Trump spent his own money to buy people Big Macs. Well, McDonald's. They bought a spread. He even joked about how he knew the menu better than anybody else. He might actually, because he does eat a lot of McDonald's. The problem being is, well, anybody's going to attack Donald Trump for anything he does. However, this is even better served by, that's right, expired water. You see, Trump handed out bottles of water with his name on it. Because of course he did. He has that kind of money. And immediately people started screaming expired water. Trump Ice is expired water. One journalist edited the thing that he gave. Yeah. That edited, or was it she? That ended up having to edit saying that it was just normal water. And people got upset saying that Twitter was censoring the story and causing people to have to edit it. I wish I was fucking kidding. This is hilarious. So they're using expired water. You know, I'm sure the people of East Palestine don't care if it's expired or not, but I have a really good feeling about this not being expired from some of the grainy pictures I've seen and how nobody is actually showing the expiration date on water in East Palestine. Yeah. The other thing is nearly expired Goya beans. That's right, he was handing out Goya beans to people that were literally expired. But he didn't donate cash, clothes, diapers, or aid groups. He donated 2 pallets of expired. I hate to tell you this, guys, but I'm not. There's a lot of other companies that are donating diapers and aid things, but nobody was donating food. Yeah, it may work for, or maybe also kind of working for the diapers and clothes people. Yeah. That may be one of my side things right now. But yeah, no, there are people out there handing out cash checks of $1,000. One YouTube influencer is handing out checks of $1,000, she does it. And it's nice. Like, I'm glad people are helping. I just find it funny that our government isn't. And they keep saying, well, it's anything. Here it is. Elon Musk, why are we still being asked to edit our tweets and take another look? I intentionally used the word useful idiot for those handing out Trump ice water bottles, which expired in 2010, paid for by campaign donations. Wow, that makes no sense. Likely another lie, unable to be known at this time. 2. Residents of East Palestine, Ohio. Trump provided water currently available in the U.S. today at Trump hotels a Mar-a-Lago. Well, okay, so yeah, it's water you can get at Trump hotels in Mar-a-Lago. Thank you, Jessica Brown. Most tweeters don't post like that, or don't like post replies like this. We're asking. I wish it would show the full tweet, but the water is. I mean, wow. All bottled water actually is tap water. So, but yeah, no, that's one of the things. Like, I'm pretty sure that it's going to end up being disinformation. That is going to be a massive problem in the upcoming years anyway. Because people are too concerned about political battles and they don't actually give a shit about their own country anymore. And this is actually very saddening to me because, well, when it comes down to it, and again, I'm sorry if I sound ragged and tired because I am. When it comes down to it, the problem we're having in the Americans, or in the United States, is you have a faction that wants to renationalize. And not in a bad sense. Although I would often objectively say that they're not exactly getting the whole picture of what we need to be doing. They want to put America first. And I'm fine with that. I would rather put states first because I believe in these United States instead of the United States. We're not one country. We're 50 separate countries that come together. And I think it's high time people actually remember that. And even Tim Pool can't wrap his mind around that. That should show you how far that we've fallen. The biggest political commentator on YouTube is a moron. But yeah, it's just tap water. It's probably just tap water that he had branded stickers put on for Mar-a-Lago. Honestly. But that's going to get us to the nearly expired beans segment. Goya, who I probably have a can of food in my cabinet from, this is not uncommon for Goya. Goya actually generally does donate food to disasters. It is one of the cool things I like about Goya is they do this kind of thing, and they've worked with Donald Trump. They've worked with Obama. I think they've even worked with Bush. That's the thing. Trump, who claims to be a billionaire, sent 13 pallets of Trump water, some Goya beans, and cleaning supplies worth approximately $10,000. The water was from his own company. Was bought by his campaign. Well, I don't know about that. Also, being a billionaire does not mean that you have $1 billion disposable. It means you have a net worth of $1 billion. I have a net worth of negative $1 billion. Donate to me on my Patreon. I'm not even kidding. Donate to me on my Patreon. But yeah, no, it's one of those things like, Please thank and recognize Goya Foods for helping our brothers and sisters in Palestine, Ohio. When you do your grocery shopping, remember to pick up some Goya products. Absolutely. Like, companies that go out of their way, I don't care if it's an international brand, because you can see CS Goya, Time Marino. I don't care about any of that. But if they're taking time to go out of their way to help people, I don't care if they're partnering with Donald Trump or Joe Biden. I don't care who they partner with. This kind of thing is a good thing for a company to do. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. That's just how it goes. His people did pretend donations for Goya were his to inflate the size of the donation, double grift. Goya gifted the donation, then Trump re-gifted it. Look closely at the Goya water. I mean, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't seen the press conference, and most videos of the press conference that I have tried to see have some guy go, "Oh, Donald Trump's a fascist." Like, literally, that's all I get out of this shit. I just wanted to contrast the fact that Joe Biden's in Ukraine, and there's obviously a lot of show and bluster, which I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be fucking honest with you. I don't give a shit about Ukraine. I don't give a shit about Russia. I really don't. I would like to get to a point where those are peacefully settled, but I don't think we're going to get to that point. I bet this is a favor from Trump. Remember when the owner of Goya Foods came out and said that he supports Trump and they're all working together? Bravo, Trump. Get all the companies that support you to help out our country since POTUS won. And yeah, that's another fucking point on this is, Goya Foods' owner is actually a Trump supporter. So who's to say that Goya didn't donate because of Trump? Now, I think they would anyway, because I've seen Goya do this anyway. Goya is a very good organization. And yeah, it's sad. We have a town in the United States that is struggling because, well, something extremely bad happened due to our crumbling and decaying infrastructure. A crumbling and decaying infrastructure, which, mind you, I am extremely pissed at every president since George Bush. And the one that was in office before I was born. I think that we need to be reinvesting in ourselves before we invest in Ukraine. But again, I'm not a fan of either fucktards. I think Republicans and Democrats are the exact thing, and I think maggots, and yes, I'm going to use the fucking term maggots, are in a cult as much as the wokest are. And that's my political stance, and has always fucking been my political stance. I'm actually very, very much a fan of the United States system as it was set up for pre-Civil War. I believe in states' rights. But anyways, before I get off into a rant and start screaming into the microphone, because I do that on Odyssey, not YouTube, and various other places, I would like to thank you for watching my content. I don't know what I'm going to do for 10,000 subscribers yet. I'm still working on it. I'm also still working 16-hour days at work and 7 days a week, apparently. Don't worry. Mandatory overtime is a video that I want to make so badly. I just can't right now. Anyways, I've been a pink-haired Jackie. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I love you guys. I mean it. Give everybody in the audience a fucking hug. Also, I'd probably do other things to certain ones of you because some of you are kind of cute. Anyways, comment down below. Hit that like, share, subscribe, whatever buttons. The notification bell and the subscribe button. And remember, I don't know what I'm doing. Bye.